Welcome to Raising Scholars. I'm Jacquie Langworthy, education leader and mom, and I'm here to help you raise confident, independent learners. In every episode, you'll get simple strategies you can use right away, built on the R.A.I.S.E Scholar Framework: confidence, consistency, and independence, without pressure and without power struggles. Let's get into it. If motivation worked, homework would be easy. But most parents know motivation fades fast. It's there one day and gone the next. Let's get real about motivation for a minute. If motivation really worked the way we wish it did, homework battles would be over, our kids would be lining up to do their assignments with a smile, but we all know that's rarely how it goes. Think about your own life. How many times have you set a goal to go to the gym, start eating healthier, or finally organize that closet? You might start off strong, full of energy and good intentions. But after a few days or maybe a week, motivation fades. Suddenly, it's raining or you're tired or there's just something else you'd rather do. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unpredictable. They come and they go, depending on our mood, how much sleep we got, and the kind of day we had, or even the weather outside. Here's the thing, parents, we know this in our own lives. If you ever tried to stick to a workout routine, you know how easy it is to fall off track when you're only relying on motivation. But if you have a system like meeting a friend at the gym, signing up for a class, or setting your clothes out the night before, it's so much easier to follow through. It's the same for our kids. We can give pep talks, offer rewards, or try to hype them up, but motivation alone is never enough to build lasting habits. Let me share a story from my own center. I had a student who was bright and capable, but every week was a roller coaster. Some days she'd breeze through her work, other days it was a struggle just to get her started. Her mom and I tried everything: stickers, special snacks, extra playtime. Sometimes it worked, but more often it didn't. What finally made the difference? We created a simple system. Homework happened at the same time every day, in the same spot, with a checklist to mark off each task. We even built in a little accountability. Her mom would sit with her for the first 5 minutes, just to help get her started. It wasn't about motivation anymore. It was about routine. Here is another way to look at it. Think about sports. If you ask a young athlete if they're motivated to go to every single practice, most will say no. But they go anyway because it's scheduled. Their coach and their teammates are expecting them, and it's just what they do. Sports teams don't wait for everyone to feel excited before they start practice. They show up because it's on the calendar, and over time, that routine builds skills, confidence, and even enjoyment, sometimes in ways motivation alone never could. So why do we expect kids to feel like doing homework, practicing an instrument, or studying for a test? If adults struggle with motivation, it's only natural that kids do too. That's why systems beat willpower every time. A system is a routine or structure that makes action automatic. It's what turns "I don't feel like it" into "this is just what we do." When you have a system like a set study time, a checklist, or even a little bit of accountability from a parent, coach, or study buddy, getting started doesn't require a pep talk or a bribe. It just happens because it's part of the rhythm of your day. If you want to make real, lasting progress, whether it's homework, reading, or anything else, stop chasing motivation and start building systems. Ask yourself, what small routines could make this easier for my child? Could we set a regular time for homework, create a checklist, or partner with another family for accountability? Remember, motivation is a spark, but systems are what keep the fire burning. And the best part? The more you rely on systems, the less you have to nag, remind, or argue. Everybody wins. Let's be honest, we've all used rewards at some point. Maybe you've promised if you finish your homework, you can have extra screen time, or finish your reading and you'll get a treat. And sometimes it works, at least for a little while. You might see a burst of effort, a little more focus, or fewer complaints. But have you noticed what happens next? Kids start asking, what do I get if I do this? Suddenly, every task comes with negotiations and expectations. I remember a family at my center who started with a simple sticker chart for completed assignments. At first, their son was so excited. He loved earning stickers and small prizes. But after a few weeks, he wouldn't start his work unless he knew exactly what the reward would be. If there wasn't something in it for him, he'd drag his feet or refuse altogether. That's the trap of external rewards. They shift a child's focus from the satisfaction of learning or finishing a task to the prize at the end. Instead of thinking, I did it, they start thinking, what do I get? There's actually research behind this. When we rely too much on external rewards, we can accidentally undermine our child's internal motivation. That's their natural curiosity, pride in improvement, or desire to master a skill. Psychologists call this the over-justification effect. Kids who start out enjoying a task can lose interest if it becomes all about earning a reward. Now, in my own family, I found a way to make rewards work for us without letting them take over. If there was something I was going to buy for my kids anyway, I'd use it as a milestone reward. Instead of just handing it over, I'd let them work toward it, building a sense of accomplishment. The biggest reward wasn't the item itself, it was the pride they felt in earning it and seeing their own growth. The actual reward was just the icing on the cake. And I was intentional about the types of rewards we use. I tried to avoid food as a treat. Instead, I focused on experiences. Quality time together, a family game night, a special outing, or just extra time to do something fun as a family. Those rewards built memories and connection, not just temporary excitement. So what works best? Building routines, celebrating effort, and focusing on progress. When kids know what is expected and see themselves making progress, they start to feel proud in their own growth. The real reward becomes their confidence, the sense that I can do this, even when it's hard. Of course, it's okay to celebrate milestones or have a family treat now and then, but the most powerful motivation comes from within. Focus on routines, progress, and pride, not just prizes. This is how we can help our kids become lifelong learners, not just reward seekers. Let's focus on the 2 pillars from the R.A.I.S.E Scholar framework that truly drive follow-through, especially when motivation is nowhere to be found. Systems beat willpower and autonomy over assistance. The S is for systems beat willpower. Motivation is unpredictable. Even the most enthusiastic kids have days when they just don't feel like doing the work. That's where systems come in. When you have a predictable routine, same time, same place, clear checklist, getting started becomes automatic. The system takes over, so you don't have to rely on willpower or mood. Over time, the structure builds comfort and trust. Kids know what to expect, and the familiarity helps lower resistance, even on the tough days. And A is for autonomy over assistance. Here's the secret. Kids are much more likely to follow through when they feel like they have a real say in the routine. When you invite your child to help shape the schedule, choosing the order of tasks, picking their study spot, or deciding when to take a break, it becomes their routine, not just yours. That sense of ownership is what makes it click for them. It's comfortable, and it feels like something they chose, not something forced. Autonomy doesn't mean letting go completely. It means empowering your child to take part in decisions and learn to manage themselves with your gentle support. When motivation runs low, and it always does, these two drivers, systems and autonomy, are what keep kids on track. You're not just building habits, you're building confidence and independence that will last a lifetime. So what does a good system look like in real life? Let's break it down into practical, doable steps you can start using right away. No perfection required. Start by picking a regular time for homework or practice each day. Maybe it's right after snack, before dinner, or as a part of your bedtime routine. The key is consistency, not the exact hour, but the fact that it happens at the same point in your family's daily rhythm. When kids know this is just what we do after snack, or homework always comes before screen time, it removes the daily debate. Over time, the predictability makes getting started almost automatic. Number 2, clear expectations. Let your child know exactly what needs to be done before they start. A simple checklist or visual schedule can be a game changer, especially for younger kids, or for anyone who gets overwhelmed by too many steps at once. You might post the list on the fridge or use sticky notes on the table. Some families even draw pictures for non-readers. When kids can see what's expected and check things off, it gives them a sense of control and accomplishment. Number 3, short, focused sessions. Break work into smaller, manageable chunks. 20 minutes of focused effort is almost always better than an hour of frustration and distraction. You can use a kitchen timer, a phone alarm, or even a favorite song as a time cue. For some kids, knowing that there's an end in sight makes it easier to get started and easier to stick with it. Number 4, adult calm. Your energy sets the tone. If you approach the system with calm, matter-of-fact confidence, your child will learn to do the same. Avoid turning homework time into a power struggle. Instead, stick to the routine and let the system be the bad guy. If your child resists, gently remind them, this is just what we do. The less you negotiate, the less room there is for arguments. Number 5, make the routine automatic. The more automatic the routine, the less room there is for arguments, negotiation, or procrastination. When kids know what to expect, they fight less. You might be surprised. Sometimes the biggest battle is just getting started. But once the routine is in place, things get easier for everyone. The system becomes the boss, not you or your child's mood that day. Number 6, build in breaks and wins. Remember, systems aren't about rigidity. They are about support. Build in short breaks after work sessions, or celebrate small wins with a high five, a sticker, or a few minutes of family time. This keeps the energy positive and helps your child associate routines with success, not struggle. And last, number 7, adjust and involve your child. Invite your child to help shape the system. Ask, what would help you get started? Or, would you like to choose the order of your task? When kids feel like they have a voice, they are more likely to buy in and more likely to stick with it. Remember, the best systems are the ones that fit your family, not someone else's. Start simple, stay consistent, and adjust as you go. With time, you'll see less resistance, more independence, and a lot more confidence, not just in school, but in life. Here's the truth. You don't need to be your child's cheerleader every day, and you don't have to rely on motivation, yours or theirs, to get things done. When you build simple, predictable systems and give your child some ownership, you're setting them up for success, not just in schoolwork, but in life. So try this tonight. Pick one routine. Maybe it's homework after snack or reading before bed, and make it your family's new, this is just what we do. Invite your child to help shape it and notice how much easier it feels when everyone knows what to expect. Remember, Every time you stick with the system, you're building your child's confidence and independence. You're showing them they can do hard things, even when motivation is low. You're not just getting through homework, you're raising a scholar, one routine at a time. Thank you for listening to Raising Scholars. I'm cheering you on as you build the habits and the confidence that lasts a lifetime. See you next time.